episode 7 of Let's Complete the Pokedex in Pokemon Blue. In the last episode, we did some stuff and ultimately realized that we didn't have the second gym badge. And so in this episode, we're going to start it off by fighting the second gym and pretty much destroying everything. I don't remember if I cut out these battles or not. I feel like I showed them. Yep, I showed them. Just because they're story battles, or it's story-ish battles, so they're kind of important. And so yes, this is pretty much just gonna be, these guys are pretty much gonna be owned collectively because I don't really have one good type at this point against all these guys. Because that's just the way my team was constructed. Like Paris doesn't have any good grass type moves yet, so couldn't do anything with Paris. Paris actually never really gets any what could be considered like good grass type moves, but Paris doesn't have any grass type moves yet. And I mean, I'm pretty much the best move to hit him with is probably Bite at this point, which is decent enough. I mean, not Bite, Dig, which is decent enough. And so that's pretty much what I'm going to be handling these guys with. As well as I'm going to use War Turtle's Bite. That's going to be my two main ways of dealing with this gym. And it's really not going to be too hard, especially because we're way over leveled, because I thought I'd already beaten it, which makes it actually really easy. But it's not the hardest of gyms, unless of course you've chosen the fire starter Charmander, which in that case it is very, very difficult. But with Squirtle, it's not too bad. In this episode, we're going to be not only taking on the second gym, we're also going to take on the third gym, to fight Lieutenant Surge, who is the only he's the only member of the armed forces in of any Pokemon gym. Which is kind of cool, I guess. I mean, it's interesting enough. Oh, and right here, I forgot that Goldeen had Dig, and then I was like, can I live? And then he supersonicked and missed, so I was happy. But, yeah, so Lieutenant Surge is kind of interesting. Misty is obviously interesting because she was a member of Ash and Brock's sort of companionship in the anime, which is worthy of noting because it's the anime, which was probably my preferred entertainment as a child. I was trying to think of a way to say that, but that's like what I would like to. That's what I would watch basically as a kid. It's like my main sort of TV show. And by the way, we should take a moment to listen to this music because it's freaking amazing. Yeah, it's basically my favorite little jig of any Pokemon game. Or I don't even know. Jig is a weird word. It's my favorite video game music, or at least from any Pokemon game. And there's a decent amount of good music in Pokemon. It's kind of electric-y. I think part of the reason why I like it so much, or like Pokemon game music so much, is a good portion nostalgia. Because I mean, there's not really that much to set it apart from other video game music similar to it, but the nostalgia is so great that it makes it, that for me, that's what sets it apart. If I could actually say a word, that's kind of hard to say if you think about it. Sets it apart, like sets it. I don't know. That's not hard to say at all. But I was having trouble saying it. Oh, excuse me. As far as Misty goes, this Starmie was pretty much the biggest problem in her gym. It's not hard. It's not really all that hard, except for the fact that it's really bulky, just because it's level 21 and it's already a final evolution at this point. And so, like, even after having gone through the SSN and gone all the way and having gone all the way down to Vermilion, Thomas still, actually I completely owned that all with Thomas, which is pretty cool. I thought that I used War Turtle, but I guess not. Yeah, so but anyway, it's the biggest problem is at Starmie, just because its overall ability to take hits. It's not like competitively, it's not that great at taking hits, but it is good enough to for at least for a like for its level and for the fact that it's evolved, it has good bulk for the time. So it basically just requires you having a strong enough or a defensive enough Pokemon to take the hits, or a high enough level Pokemon to take the hits, while still being able to deal or dish out enough damage to be able to win, possibly with healing items, depending. But yeah, as you can see, for us, Misty wasn't much of a problem. Yeah, here we have what we actually came here for originally. We needed to get HM 5. HM 5 is Flash, and we had to have 10 kinds of Pokemon. I'm pretty sure at this point we had like 30, so it really wasn't a big deal. And down here there is a important item. Gotta get rid of something first though. Try to toss the SS ticket. Can't do that. Even though the SSN is never gonna come back, but I'm pretty sure I just tossed that into it. Yeah. And then I think this is the wrong item anyway. Yeah, it was just another HP up, and so I was like, drat, I could have used that that antidote. But I just give the HP up to Thomas again. And down here is where the item that we're actually trying to get is, and that item is a Moonstone, and we're gonna be using it to evolve our Nidorina. I always want to say Nidoran female, even when it's a Nidorina. But yeah, so now we actually do have a Nidoqueen. The reason why I decided to level up or to evolve Nidoran or Nidorina into Nidoqueen at this point is because next level, if you actually have a Nidoqueen at this point, next level Nidoqueen will learn Body Slam, and so that's why I give it a rare candy. I just wanted Elizabeth to evolve at right now, because Body Slam is, or I didn't want it to evolve, but I wanted it to learn Body Slam because it didn't really have any good moves, and there weren't any really good moves that I wanted to teach it, like HM wise, until like Surf and Earthquake and stuff. So I wanted it to have like a solid normal type move in Body Slam, because it really doesn't learn that great of moves if you leave it as Nidoran in general, or if you leave it as a Nidorina. It learns Double Kick at like level 50. In yellow it learns it at like 12 or something a lot lower. It learns Double Kick, but in this game it learns it around level 50, and it's really not worth it. Oh, and up here is we're gonna get the Old Amber to be able to get a Aerodactyl when we actually finally makes the Pokemon Lab. First we're gonna heal though, and put stuff in the Oh, I had to put items in the what's it called, in the PC. Well, I wanted to call it like the Pokedex, but the Pokedex is not the PC. But yeah, the Old Amber is pretty easily overlooked, just because you have to come back to the original city, or not the original city, but the third city you go to, but it's like the first one of any importance. Or the first one that you go to that actually I don't know, it's like the second one that you go to that actually has importance for the time. The second city you go to actually is important, but it's important much later in the game. Yeah, so talk to these guys, and they'll basically, this guy will ask you a favor to take the Old Amber, and I will graciously accept that, because that's how we get one of the members of our Pokedex, but we can't get it for a while, so I believe I just go put it back in the PC at some point. I don't remember if I do that in this episode or not. I don't know why I actually cut that instead of just running out of the, jumping the fence. I don't know why I was like having so much trouble articulating my thoughts at that moment, but yes. So anyway, the definitive upload schedule from now on is going to be 3 videos a week. Because at this point I have enough videos stocked to be able to upload 3 a week until Christmas break, or not Christmas, but winter vacation, which will then give me a lot more time to stock up videos until I'll be able to upload till my next sort of day off, which will then hopefully allow me enough time to produce more videos. Because basically my Let's Playing, it goes from like video creation is vacation to vacation basically, which is not too bad. It's a ton of fun to like just sit down and make videos. However, for the Pokemon videos, I kind of need to space out the time between doing these voiceovers, or not voiceovers. That's like, you say voiceovers when it's like voice acting, but to providing the commentary for this, I kind of need to space it out, because it's sort of a more, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's more of like a creative thing that like I have to think about something that I can discuss for 20 minutes basically, which is, that was even with a crossfade, that was kind of a bad transition. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna hit the 3rd gym right now, the one with probably the most annoying puzzle in the game in my opinion. But like I was saying, it takes being more creative, and so I can't just sit down and like do that over and over again as I could with like live commentary, because live commentary can be sort of more reactionary, and it provides you with more stuff to talk about instead of you having to provide yourself with the things, because you can't really, if you talk about what's on screen, like post commentary, it's less enthusiastic sort of, and it's just not as, it doesn't lend itself as well to LPing in my opinion, to do it that way. But anyway, dealing with this gym is going to be 100% Thomas digging. It's gonna pretty much one-hit KO everything, because dig is a pretty high, it has pretty high base power. I think like 80, and it's super effective, so that's 160 base power move. Granted that Paris is not the greatest stats in the world, but 160 base power at this point in the game is definitely enough to take out Pikachu and these other Pokemon without much defense. I think Magnemite is like the most defensive Pokemon that is in this gym. And even Magnemite isn't that expensive, or not expensive. That's not what I meant. That defensive, the "iv" part at the end, and the "ensive" is like what, I don't know why I said expensive, but yeah. My strategy for dealing with this gym as a kid would just be go into it's a Diglett cave, catch a Dugtrio, and then wreck shop for a good portion of the rest of the game with Dugtrio, because it starts at such a high level that it makes it really usable, and it stays ahead of the curve for a decent amount of time, like as far as just doing a lot of damage. Like eventually the levels kind of catch up to him, but he's pretty good for a while, so it's just, Dugtrio was kind of a staple member of my team for not LPs, but for playthroughs of this game as a kid. And I'm actually using Dugtrio in my red play along, where I'm also getting all the Pokemon that I need to get alongside this, because it makes it so much quicker to use Dugtrio, because you don't have to grind up a Pokemon and then you can like go through it quickly. But yeah, as you can see, there's not much of things like insight to give about just digging away. Getting the not the HM, but the TM for dig from the guy that got robbed was it was pretty nice. It was nice of him, because he pretty much allows us to destroy this gym with almost any Pokemon that can learn it. You can really do a lot of damage with any Pokemon. The stats really don't matter. I'm pretty sure all you guys know how the puzzle for this gym works, but I'm going to talk about it just briefly anyway. You have to find 2 switches. The one switch is placed randomly, and then you find that one, and then randomly around it, randomly directly surrounding that that trash can is another one. So it's basically just luck to find it, which kind of sucks, especially if you're like trying to speedrun Pokemon Yellow, because Pokemon Yellow speedruns is like, it's pretty easy to do because you can, there's a glitch where you can own, it makes Fisher, if you use it on Nidoking, 100% accurate if you just use 1x accuracy. So people use that for speedruns of this game, or not of this game, but of Pokemon Yellow. And Paris is evolving into Parasect, which is awesome. We get a fully evolved team member. I think Parasect is kind of weird looking in this. I think it kind of gets a cooler look, or it gets like kind of a more like derpy look, which gives it more character, in my opinion. I just speed this up because it's luck, and I couldn't find it for a while. Actually, I found it. Oh no, never mind. I thought I just found it. No, it takes me a couple more tries. But so I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah, the Pokemon Yellow speedruns. People just own with if you catch a Nidoking with the right stats, you can basically one-hit KO everything from then on in the game. So it makes speedrunning, it kind of like breaks the speedrunning if you get screwed by this. But you also have to catch something with the right HP, or not HP, but other stats, which HP is a stat, but with the right defensive and offensive stats. So I mean, it's not the only factor, but it sucks to actually catch like a good one, or it would suck. I've never actually done speedruns, but I've watched them. It would suck to like catch like the world record run for Yellow. The guy gets absolutely trolled by this puzzle, and that's like because he immediately caught like a perfect Nidoking, and that would have been the perfect run had he actually done well in this gym, but unfortunately it was not the case. But he still got the world record, so it doesn't really matter, and I think we should take a moment to enjoy this music again. But anytime I hear this music, I just want to shut up because it's so good. It's definitely my favorite music in the game. It's really, really good. And yeah, the same strategy being employed for this guy, for the gym leader. Just dig everything, especially since Thomas evolved into a Parasect. There's nothing to stand in his way, basically. He just digs everything. I mean, I get one-hit KOs on, I believe, 100% of the guys I face right now. Even this Raichu, I think, though I might not, but I'm like 75% sure that I Oko this Raichu. We'll see. Yes, I do. Yeah, I was pretty sure. But I've kind of been getting more into sort of video game collecting as of recently. Like I'm trying to get little display boxes like for my Super Nintendo games, like not actually like complete like boxed sets, but they have like little plastic sort of, they look like it makes the game look like it's boxed, so if you don't have the box you can like put it in a plastic case and it'll protect it, and it's cheaper than actually trying to find an original box. You can get boxes remade from there's a place called like Time Stamp Games or something like that, or Time Walk Games. They'll send you like reproduction boxes and stuff, but they're more expensive than getting the cases. But I'm not sure, I might get boxes from them, or really not sure yet as far as what I'm gonna do. But I'm trying to like make a sort of better display area. My dad and I are gonna make a little display cabinet, because you can buy one, but they cost like $100, and we can make one for like probably like $20 in materials and a basic ability to and a basic craftsmanship ability, which my dad is a luthier and carpenter by profession, so he has good work. He's a good craftsman, so I don't really have to worry about making like a bad sort of display case. And yeah, I'm gonna drill holes in like after I get it done, I'll do a little room tour thing, because I don't really have that many games to show off, but I do want to make a little cabinet and sort of start getting into video game collecting and displaying. But I don't want to make like, I don't want to get like one of those rooms where it's like everything is completely full, partly just because there's no space, and my mom would freak out if I was trying to like line all my walls with video games and stuff. But I do want to I want to like fill out a nice little display case thing with just not even like really rare games or anything, but the essentials from all the consoles I own, and maybe pick up a couple consoles in between. I do want to get an original Nintendo Entertainment System, and I wouldn't mind a Nintendo 64. I don't own one of those, though it does have some of my favorite games like ever on it. Conker's Bad Fur Day being one of them. I love playing that game. Played it with one of my he was my good friend a while ago. I don't know, we kind of just stopped talking. That's a different story though, but I did play Conker's Bad Fur Day a lot with him. We just loved that game. It's a ton of fun, and I really wouldn't mind picking up a Nintendo 64. Other systems, I'm not really too sure. Like, I'm not really too intrigued by the Genesis, etc. But, at least right now, the two systems on my list are the Nintendo Entertainment System and the N64 for picking up. But if I find something at like a really good deal, I'm probably just gonna not be able to resist. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We got a lot of things done, and we will continue to get a lot of things done in the next episode.